Spirit, welcome very much to my YouTube channel. Esoteric Cloud Surfer here, ready to start a spirituality and astrology live stream. I can't really see how I'm looking. I came out looking nice, but the wind came up. You know what I'm saying? I'm very glad to be here with you. Hope you guys enjoying your MoonDay. Thank you very much for being here. Your support is greatly appreciated. I wish you the best thoughts, ideas, feelings, and emotions, and a whole bunch of individuality, creativity, and responsibility as well. And today, we have the Moon Day in Aries. So we are reacting and responding to new feelings, new emotions, new visions about yourself, new expressions about yourself, new imaginations about yourself, your personality, personal interests, personal insecurity, individuality, creativity, uniqueness, and spiritual belief systems. My bad if I'm making some weird faces. Oh my god. The sun is reflecting here on the table that I'm using. So it's going away. It's going away. Welcome very much to the stream, y'all. Hopefully today we have the chat. In the last streams we didn't have the chat here. I don't know why. I don't know. That's an error from YouTube. We're sipping our good coffee. Wait, we have a guest, special guest here on the table. Hi Zora. And okay, coming back on point. Today, Moon in Aries, Sun in Cancer though, so we are learning something about our uniqueness, individuality, and the expression of it, and we are also learning how to piece that together with our feelings and emotions, right? But what we want and what we see are in a more emotional, more feminine, more moody nature, energy, and our feelings and our emotions are in a more expressive, impatient, irrational, and intense and passionate form. And the sun is exalted in Aries, and the moon rules Cancer. So today it's a little bit of an inverted lesson or inverted energies because the moon, which is associated with calmness and internal world, wants to be exalted or not exalted, expressed and seen, and it wants to be impactful. And the sun, which is associated with expression and doing and being, is now more calm or more feminine, more internal, right? And it needs to be more private. It wants to be less seen, less heard. That coffee is making everything flowing here. Shit, I think I have to change my position here. Change my angle. I can't even have my eyes open. It's just like these have a nice background, and now while I change, or when I change, it will not be such a nice background. Way better, guys. Way better. Now I have to change here. The setup, it's alright. So it does not take long. Yeah, now we have some blinders behind us. I have a nice table here to put all my stuff. It's actually a pretty nice spot. Even though the sun still, when I move to a certain angle, it fucks me up. Fuck the sun, bro. I want to see other stars. I want to see other uniqueness, other forms of individuality. Because that talk of one love, one light, that's some BS. That's just anti-uniqueness agenda, you know? It's that instead of you being aware of multiple frequencies and vibrations, you are only aware of one. And that one frequency and vibration wants you to worship it, wants you to forget, and not even to be able to see or remember other frequencies and vibration. God damn it, I think I chose a bit of a wrong time to be outside, at least on this spot. I could move everything here to a spot where is more shadow. I think I might have to do that because it's really tough to see right now. But let's try how things are right now. I'll do a shorter stream because we have not great conditions to perform this ritual. So let's take one tarot card for today's energy. We have the moon in Aries, reacting and responding to new feelings, visions, and expressions about yourself and your internal world. We have the sun in Cancer, acting, expressing, and seeing new emotions, new feelings, and in new moody ways. And it's a MoonDay. So today we are feeling more, we are reacting more, we are a bit more insecure, a bit more internal. Or if you've been planting good seeds, you are a bit more secure, feeling a bit more stable. We are more connected with our feelings, our emotions, and you can feel more your surroundings and the things around you. Let's go, tarot card for today's energy. There we go. It is Seven of Pentacles. So that's today's learning lesson, learning how to separate and detach from old physical, realistic circumstances, situations, attachments, commitments, responsibilities, limits, and boundaries to be inspired and get into or closer to new physical, real circumstances, situations, limits, boundaries, commitments, and relations as well. Because relations, not as in romantic relationships, but just exchanging information, exchanging your time for money, aka work. You know what I'm saying? And let's take a Dragon Oracle card. Hi everybody, welcome to the stream. Let's see what's the best way to go about today's learning lesson. How to detach from our reality while maintaining a sense of reality and structure, right? Come on. Pull it out. Let's go. Oh, Deep Blue Galactic Dragon. Or Dark Blue, I mean. Dark Blue Galactic Dragon. Beautiful card. Take a look at this. So this means that by going deep within you and having deep conversations, deep interactions, and deep realizations about yourself, you can really understand in your own perspective and in your own circumstances, as above, so below. You can see some micro examples within you that are reflected in some key elements of the macro life and macro ecosystems that we call the cosmos, for an example, all right? So basically, connecting that with the Seven of Pentacles, the tarot card of today, it's the best way to go about that detachment, getting out of old physical circumstances so you can be inspired to get into new old circumstances, is to reflect deep within yourself and understand that physical life is only a small portion of the whole existence, but it does reflect some parts of your spiritual awareness. Oh god damn. Nah, this is not a good spot. Really uncomfortable here. Have to change. I think I have a good place over here. Hold on. Hold on a second, guys. Now it's coming. Oops, a fresher wind is coming in. Okay. Hold on, guys. You'll stop seeing me for a second. Okay, here we go. Do we have connection? Here? I think so. I hope it's good enough. Okay. But perhaps here is too windy. It's actually a spot for me to be here, talking with you all. I'll just grab my coffee. Here we are. It's summer over here. It's good weather though, good weather. But I had to move to a shadow, man. And we're not even in Leo season. When we arrive to Leo season, shit's gonna be hotter. That fire gonna be focused. But we're gonna be chilling, right? Ooh, way better. Way better. Nice. So guys, now that we are in better conditions, let's continue the stream. It will not be a big stream. We're just chilling, talking about MoonDay in general, MoonDay in Aries. So on MoonDays, we, like I was saying earlier, we feel more connected with our emotions. We are paying more attention to our internal realm. We are spending more time delving and diving into our reflections, our reactions, our sense of security, safety, structure, how we feel about ourselves. You can get MoonDay is a good day to get closer to your desires, not go overboard, not experience them a lot. That's more like this day, right? But on MoonDay, it's like you can go do it a bit more, get a bit out of your routine to get into that desire, only if that desire brings to you a sense of calmness, safety, security, because the moon, it's a bit about clinginess, neediness, addiction, right? But to the right things, because you're never going to be independent, you're never going to be just you. Even to create this body, you had to be a part of a team. You are the leader, you control the solar plexus, but the others are working with you as well. So you're never alone. I actually have a video about that here on the channel, right? And not only that, you need others or you need things. So addiction is not a bad thing. What is a bad thing is you being addicted to wrong things. And the wrong things are things that not only hurt you, because they might not hurt you, but they might distract you or slow you down or getting too motivated or making you jump certain internal, spiritual, emotional processes that you have to go through in order to expand as a spirit and be able to deal and grow and expand in all the circumstances, or in the right circumstances, right? That's why people don't like MoonDays, because most people are not in touch with their internal world. They are victims to their own internal world. When they are lower energy, they blame something else. They feeling weird, they blame those feelings because they don't understand from. They don't understand they are the ones creating or attracting those feelings. They do not do shadow work, they do not grow those feelings. They stay in fear or away or trapped in those feelings or in the limitations that those feelings do present. So my life here talking about MoonDay, right? Some wildlife. Because in terms of life forms, we humans will be a representation of the sun, more powerful, more aware of ourselves. We can see better things. And then animals will be a representation of the moon. They can feel better. They can smell from really far away. They can feel the electromagnetic waves. We too, even better than them. But people don't recognize their power, which is to catch things from the outside, to feel the room, to catch an event before it happens. It's just like when you're listening to music with your headphones and somebody texts you or somebody calls you, you hear a static in your headphones before you receive the text or before you receive the call, right? And that happens as well. That's what you call telepathy, that's what you call premonition, but everybody can do it. That's not a special power, that's not a superpower. Everybody can do it in different percentages, triggered by different events, and most people are more or less aware of it. And the more you are aware of that power, the better you can do it, or more often you can do it, right? Especially if you have a closer connection with somebody else, you will have telepathy with them. But if you are not so close in terms of emotion, not physically speaking, with somebody else, you will not have telepathy with them, all right? So it happens a lot with me and my beautiful partner. Check the links down below to reach more of my content and hers content as well. But we have a lot of telepathy. Like I expressed something and she was talking about it, right? Or vice versa. That's an example of telepathy. Because telepathy is not like you see in movies and you see somebody speaking with other people via the mind. That's not true because you don't speak with the mind, you speak with your tongue, right? Bro, that's very simple. And that's like one of the ways to distinguish a spiritual person, an intelligent and intellectual person, from a person that has those abilities but is not using it. Because if you think about it, no other organ in your body can speak. So why do people that watch movies really think that telepathy is about speaking? Telepathy is not about speaking. You speak with your tongue, your hands can speak, your arms can speak, your legs can speak, your brain can speak, but they communicate. People that are deaf or that are they can speak, they communicate with their hands. It's not speaking, but it's still communicating, right? Or through drawings. That's not speaking, but that's communicating as well, right? So telepathy, it's a form of communication, but it's not speaking. It's not like you communicate with somebody and telling them words. It doesn't work like that, right? Because you use words through this organ right here, and that's the only organ that can produce words, right? And on the other hand, your ears are the only organ that can receive sound in the specific frequency and vibration that allow us to communicate via words. Your brain cannot receive that. Otherwise, you wouldn't have ears, right? Your brain will do everything. But no, you develop a system that is connected to your brain to catch certain frequencies and vibrations so you can communicate with people from your kind. So telepathy is not about talking, it's about communicating, and those two different things, right? And while talking and speaking and writing is associated with Mercury, telepathy is associated with the moon. And most people, they think about, oh, telepathy, it's psychic power. No, telepathy is an emotional power. And all your psychic powers are emotional powers because people think of the mind, right, as logic, or the psychic powers are like an, something else out of the extraordinary. So they must be associated with the mind or something higher than us. That's not true. You already do telepathy. You already have clairvoyance. But if your mind is so filled up with worries from the past, right? With trauma, insecurity, you don't have space to pay attention to your clairvoyance powers. And that's why most spiritual people, not most spiritual people, but the most spiritual people say that you should listen to your first thought and first feeling. Even if it leads to mistakes, you are basically training your body and training your mind to be aligned and hear very well your spirit. Because your spirit is the most aware, and your mind is less aware of your spirit than your spirit. Your emotions are less aware of your mind, and your body is less aware than your emotions. So you see the scale. That's why you should listen more to your spirit, because that's your true self, and your spirit is more aware than your body or your mind, right? But then, when you want to do something in the physical world that we call demon time, you should use your body and emotions because they can focus more in one point. So you can do that one single thing better. But then if you don't leave that space, you burn out. And a lot of YouTubers, for an example, they burn out because they take YouTube as their identity. They take YouTube and what they do as themselves, and they are not, right? I'm not a YouTuber. First, I don't consider myself a YouTuber because I don't do what they do. I don't go for clickbait. I do thumbnails, but I don't do the perfect thumbnail, or I don't look for the perfect title, or I don't trend surf and things like that. So I don't consider myself to be a YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? I just a spirit in a body, creating videos and posts about my personal perspective, right? And this is some real because everybody has these powers, right? Everybody has the power to connect via other means than tongue and sound frequency and vibration. But when you talk about it with people in the world, they think it's something supernatural, but it's not, right? It's not supernatural. Sometimes, and many people are familiar with this, you have a feeling about the circumstance, or oh, this situation doesn't smell good. You see that a lot in movies, right? That's clairvoyance. That's telepathy, because telepathy is not just about between you and somebody else. Can be between you and the environment, can be between you and a certain group of spirits that are vibing in a specific frequency and vibration, right? So we have to be very careful, because these movies, they can really deceive us, because they are talking about things that are real and that we have the power to do, but they show you a wrong image, or they show you the wrong way to go about that. And then you think it's then when somebody tells you that you already do that, you already have that power because you saw it in a different way, you're like, no, that's not true. But like, coming back to the point where telepathy is not speaking, telepathy is communicating in a different frequency and vibration, that makes a lot of sense, and that clarifies a lot of movie imagery that we were exposed to, right? And that's all dealing with the moon. That's what we call feelings and emotions, but in a higher frequency, in a broader dimensions. Now that we're talking about this metaphysical stuff, also dimensions, guys. When we talk about different dimensions, we are not talking about different places, because there are different places, right? That's obvious. The universe is infinite. Oh, and that is, remember, okay, hold on. I'm getting a lot of ideas here. First, dimension is about size, right? Here in Portuguese, we say a dimensão de algo, the size of something. And the dimension, you can go, what is the dimension of this football field? What is the size of this football field? So when we talk about the first, the second, and the third dimension, or the fourth, we're talking about spiritual perspectives. How much aware are you of yourself, the spirits working with you, and the spaces around you? And a spirit in the ninth dimension is aware of way more stuff than us here in the third dimension. So when you die and you go to the fourth dimension, you go somewhere else spiritually. It's not like you can create a machine to go to the fourth dimension. No. But you can go to the fourth dimension right now. You can give a name, you can give a title to something. Because when you give a title, let's say, for an example, I play Age of Empires 4 and I stream Age of Empires 4 as well. You can catch me live on Twitch. And there is this mechanic, you can catch a relic and you can do a wololo. And when you do a wololo, you can convert enemy units to be a part of your army, right? So, there is a player that he does that a lot. So he's called the wololo god. So that's a title. So whoever came up with that title and whoever uses that title, they know, oh, he's the wololo god. And they know that has a broader meaning. They know they are a person that plays that game, but that in that specific game, they do something else, right? So when you gave a name and a title, you are more aware, or you are going deeper. You are talking about something that goes beyond the physical. Because if you are into the game, you know that player plays the game, he likes to do that, he streams, and in the game, he does something a number enough of times and successfully to earn that title. So a title has a broader meaning than just a name, for an example. You know what I'm saying? And that's the fourth dimension. That's spiritually. Because and that has a meaning, right? And when somebody hears that title, they be like, whoa, shit, that the guy is up to something, or that guy is known for that. You know what I'm saying? It's not you going somewhere. The fourth dimension is not a physical place. It's something that you can do here or wherever you go in your next lifetime. All right? And now talking about also these metaphysical subjects, sometimes when I'm scrolling through YouTube, I see a lot of thumbnails talking about Thanos was right. You know, the villain from Marvel, that he wanted and he achieved deleting half of the population of the universe because there was not enough resources. First, that movie came out and a short time after people start dying and there was limitations and restrictions and scarcity. That's for another video. But second, people that believe that that guy was right, they are super, because it's a scientific proof that the universe is infinite. That the universe not only is infinite, it keeps expanding. So we have an expandable infinity. So how in the fucking world is a guy talking about there is not enough resources, there is not enough space, is right? Bro, the universe is fucking infinite. So if the universe is infinite, the resources are infinite, so there is no lack of resources, you dumb motherfucker. And most people that are into, not most people, but a lot of people that are a lot into Marvel and shit, they are into science as well. And if I go to an anime convention and I ask people that are into the Marvel shit, if I ask them, do you know that it's a scientific fact that the universe is infinite? They'll say, yeah, I know, right? And also, yeah, there is a term for this called cognitive dissonance. Another example of cognitive dissonance. You know about that experiment where the electron can be a particle or a wave, depending if there is an observer or not? Most people are aware of that. But then most people fail to associate that to their individual power. Bro, you have the power to change what they call a fundamental particle of existence. Is that not enough proof to tell you that you can change the world? That you can change your life, you can change your mind? Because most people that I know, they are stuck somewhere else. Mentally, they're in hell, right? Because hell is repetition with no meaning. And the opposition to hell is not heaven, is consistency, is Saturn. You have consistency with Jupiter, with meaning, and through consistency, through limiting yourself in a certain place, you expand, right? And that's actually some spiritual shit that I'm just here talking about right now. And we keep talking about movies and whatnot today, so I'm seeing the theme of today right now. And yeah, I don't understand how people say that Thanos was right when they know that the universe is infinite. You know what I'm saying? By the way, guys, I'm sure I can see the chat. I don't know why. Here on the phone I can see the chat. It's some fucking bullshit. Do I need to update? Do I need to update something here on YouTube, perhaps? So the resources are infinite as well, right? And that just makes so much sense, bro. And people don't even think about it because we have like 20 minutes, 40 minutes YouTube videos talking about Thanos was right. And fundamentally, it's not. The guy was not right. Unless you're talking about some moral standpoint, which is even lamer, like you are nobody to judge morally other people. So if a guy kills half of the population of the universe because of a moral standpoint, that guy will never be right, right? And it's just people lost in La La Land, bro. Like they don't even thinking, bro. All right, thinking. Most people they are into logic, but they don't think. I actually talked about that in a live stream a few time ago. People that are into science, people that are into logic, they're not even thinking, bro. You know, they're not putting 1+1 together. They just receive a message. Oh, I like it. They keep it. They receive a message. I don't like it. They throw it away. And they don't even think about it. They don't even make sense about it. It's just some bullshit, man. But that's not the point of the stream right now. Talking about Aries, MoonDay in Aries. We're talking about MoonDay as well. Right, MoonDay? It's the day to prepare your weekdays, right? Because why do we call it week or the weekdays? Because from MoonDay to Venus Day, from MoonDay to Friday, because Friday it's Frida Day, and Frida is the North goddess that represents Venus, or we call Venus to a thing that in that time they call Frida. It's the same thing, different words, right? And yeah, throughout MoonDay to Friday, it's way easier for you to be lost or washed up under the current or your desires. And on the weekend, it's when the weekdays end, right? Which is Saturday and Sunday, which are the planets that are more connected with individuality and uniqueness. It's easier for you to be out of your lower animalistic natures, to be out of the currents of the world and be more present in your own space. Simple, right? And also I'm remembering, this must be from the retrogrades right now. I remember once I think it was in my gaming Discord, I said Happy Jupiter Day or Happy Moon Day. And somebody was like, what the fuck is a Moon Day? You know? Because they speak English natively. Because if you come, like in Portuguese, you don't say Monday. But on Spanish, I think you say lunes, which is luna. It's the Spanish word for the moon. But I don't remember if that's correct, if they call lunes. But I think so. But for example, Friday is viernes, which comes from Venus, right? So it's pretty obvious. And then they be using these words every fucking day of their lives. Happy Moon Day, Happy Saturn Day, Happy Sunday. Because, like, Tuesday, I get it, because it comes from North mythology. It comes from Tears Day, the North god of the war. Mercury Day, or no, Wednesday, I actually forgot where Wednesday comes from. But then Jupiter Day comes from Thursday, Thor's Day, representation of Jupiter, and then Venus Day comes from or Friday comes from Frida Day, right? And they be using these words. They be using Moon Day, Saturn Day, Sunday, and then they ask me, what is a Moon Day, bro? Moon Day, the day of the moon. Saturn Day, the day of Saturn, and the easiest of them all, Sun Day, the day of the sun. And then these people be like, astrology, what? And then be like, happy Sunday, see you on church on Sunday. Bro, you are saying it. Sun Day, Moon Day. You know what I'm saying? It's not complicated, bro. And what does that mean? What does Sunday means? It means, and first, it means that somebody realized, hold on, not all days are the same, but we have a cycle. Somebody, because we have a calendar, and we don't have a calendar just for these 2,000 years. Different civilizations had different names, but there was always a calendar, right? Back in the day, we had 10 days, because Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune were closer to us, right? So somebody realized, hold on, or a group of people realized, hold on, not all days are the same, right? We go through different things, we feel different ways, we think in different ways, we act, we express, we get passionate, or we get sad in different ways, in different magnitudes. But there is a cycle, right? There is a cycle. We see a repetition. And then they be like, oh, that's true. But why is that? Because us are doing things in a different way. So we are in different spaces, or we are reflecting or being influenced by different energies, by different frequencies and vibrations. So what the Moon Day means that us, our body of water, is facing or more focused in a specific frequency and vibration. You can call it a physical, a spiritual state, okay? And then it manifests as a real state, you wanting or needing more safety. Simple. It's just that, right? Most people fail to connect spirituality with reality, but it's that simple. For an example, me and you can be in Mars. If we are passionate or motivated or angry, you can be passionate, you can be angry because you are stuck in the traffic. I can be angry because my teammates in Pokemon Unite are not playing shit. We are both angry, we are in the same state. In the same state. You are in Ohio, I'm in Ohio. We're in the same state. You know what I'm saying? Right? So, when it's Venus Day, it means that we are in Venus. We are in that state, okay? And they called the planet Venus because that planet spends more time in that state, okay? Because it's not the planet that is influencing us, it's the spirit or the group of spirits that created that planet are influencing, are impacting us. It's not the planets, right? It's the spirits that created the planets. Like your spirit and all the spirits with you created your body. You affect people around you. You affect the animals around you. You affect the spirits that have no body around you. You know what I'm saying? So those stars do the same. So for example, when a planet goes into retrograde, it's not that planet walking backwards. It's us getting further away from that planet. So the influence that we have available from that planet is something that we already experienced because the new updated version is arriving later or with less impact, with less percentage levels. All right? And that's pretty much it, guys. Astrology is not complicated, bro. You just need to understand that you are the creator, not the creation. And depending on the state that you are, you're going to produce and attract different things. And one space produces and attracts a specific array of things. A different space produces and attracts a different array of things. That's why we have the ability to organize. That's why we have calendars. That's why we have clocks. That's why we have months. That's why we have zodiac signs. That's why we call animals like even in cats or in dogs, you have different types of dogs. They're still dogs, but you call them different names because they have different characteristics, either in behavioral or physical, right? And that's the same, like, for example, in the Catholic Church or just Christianity, we have all the saints. And here in Portugal, right now in the summer, almost every weekend, there is a regional, a local party to honor a certain saint. And those saints, they are basically the degrees, right? You have the disciples of Christ, you have Christ, the Son. You have the disciples, 12 disciples, 12 months. And then each month has 30 days, 30 degrees, and those are the saints. So Saint George is a specific degree of a specific month, right? And in that degree, in that perspective, in that way of, thinking or feeling, actually, I don't know about Saint George, but, okay, let's do it. Let's create a new perspective here. Let's create a new vision. So, Saint George, we have George. And you have George back in the day with a J or with a G. G, right? So I'll take the modern representation with the G. George, right? So geo means earth, right? Geothermal energy, for an example, that means earth. So Saint George and then Orge, the urge of the geo, the urge of the earth. So George Washington, for an example, he was a vessel because most likely that wasn't even his real name. It was like a name among his peers. It was a name that was given to him by himself because, like, my parents gave me a name, but now I go by Esoteric Cloud Surfer, right? So George Washington, perhaps, I don't know, I wasn't there, but perhaps George Washington wasn't his real name. It was a name given by himself, to himself, or by his peers, right? So George Washington is a representation of the desires of the earth. And the desires of the earth are not the desires of the spirit. So you have a country called Georgia, or a state called Georgia, right? So that state or that country, they are the same thing, just in different frequencies and vibrations. The spirits that are attracted to that state, especially the ones that are born out of that state or of that country, they are in line, they carry more, or they are more attracted to more earthly desires. Materialism, sex, food, whatever, right? And then you have other saints, Saint Thomas, and Saint Thomas represents different desires, different perspectives, physical events. I don't know. And then what I learned about the saints is that some of the saints were people that did miracles, right? And they did miracles by channeling a certain frequency and vibration, or by doing something that nobody yet had thought about it, or they never imagined that, right? So they came up with a solution to a problem. They cured a disease, they solved a social problem, because they were representing, or they were a vessel of an alignment, of a degree, and they brought something extremely new to this world, aka a miracle, my oracle, my clairvoyance, my telepathy, my message, my way, my oracle. So a miracle is a work of God, but the true Masons and the true spiritual people know that God is a term for the spirit. So you are not a God, as in Christian Bible, because the God of the Christians is a being that thinks it's responsible for everybody, and they think it created everything. That's impossible, because if that was true, that God will be creating shit right now, and clearly it's not, because this world has been the same for the last 2000 years, right? So you are a spirit. You are a, and then depending on the state that you are, depending on the saint, even saint, you know what I'm saying? The state sadness, you know, what state are you in? Happiness, grudge, madness, George, Thomas, Lucas, frustration, gratitude, misery. Those are saints, those are states. You know what I'm saying? It's that simple, because you have to think about it. Like in Japanese, they have a word for water, it's mizu. Here, we have a word for water, it's agua. In English, we have a word for water, right? But they're talking about the same thing. And that's the same thing with these Indian or Proto-Indian religions, Buddhism. We're talking about the same thing using different words. They call it Lucas, we call it happiness. They call it George, we call it desires of the earth, or the daughters of men, for an example. The flesh, the desires of the mind, which was created by the spirit, right? They call it John, we call it limitation. I'm not sure, I'm just giving you examples. You know what I'm saying? And it's that simple. They have a different word, but we're talking about the same thing. Like the Book of the Dead and the Bible, they are pretty much the same thing. The Book of the Dead talks about how your spirit gives life to the dead body, because this is your arm, this is not you, this is yours, and if your spirit goes away, this ain't moving, right? So you give life to the dead, Book of the Dead. And the Bible is the same thing. In the beginning, God, spirit, created animals or the waters or whatever. And the Book of the talks about the same thing, but then the Bible goes ahead and talks about how to manipulate people, how to make people like you. I'm always remembering, I don't know why, a passage about choosing a new king, and how you choose a new king, how you make others look at you like a king, how you create social havoc or social action to make others look at you in a certain way so they can see you as the leader. And that shit it's spiritually, because you are the spiritual leader of your system. We are solar systems, because soul, system, and lar means home in Portuguese, right? So solar system, you are a system. You have your nervous system, you have your heart system, digestive system, your cleaning system, the locomotive system. You are a system, right? For your different organs, organization. You are an organized system, right? And you are a solar system, like we are in a solar system, but on a smaller scale, on a smaller dimension. Like I said earlier on a live stream, a dimension is not a different place you can go, it's a different place you can be in spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Nice, we're creating here some good spiritual conversations, some new feelings. You know what I'm saying? New visions. MoonDay in Aries, bro, gotta be like this, gotta be real. And we gotta apply this to reality, right? And in order for you to understand spirituality, it's very important for you to understand your feelings, and that you are not those feelings, but you know that if you are feeling a certain way, you can do the same thing in different ways. Let's say you like to drive, you're always driving, right? If you feel in a certain way, you will drive in a different way. If you feel in a different way, you will drive in a different way, right? Because your feelings are very powerful. But not just feelings, your mind as well, right? Your thoughts as well. So, when you are in a certain state, when you are being a certain saint, even just going to work can be very different, for an example. Or making a live stream, like I'm doing right now. If you're feeling a certain way, you will do and be seen in a certain way. If you are in a different state, you will do the live stream and others will see your live stream in a different way. And it's all about that, guys. And then this is so personal, because I cannot explain to you how you go through happiness, how you go through only you can know how you go through it. But I'm telling you that different states produce different outcomes. So now you know, oh, I'm in this state. And this state produces a different content than if I was in that state. So this state usually produces that content because I've been studying myself, so I don't want that content, or I don't want as much of a percentage of that content. So let me change. Let me do something with this body or with this mind that will change my state. And that's the ultimate power. That's the ultimate ritual and spell. Your body is a ritual and a spell, right? So when you do something, you meditate, you sit in a certain way, you drink something, you smoke something, you eat something, you go for a walk or something, you are changing your state, right? Or you are confirming the choice because your spirit might be already in a different state, but then you or the spirits within you might be resisting that change, and cancer comes from that. Because what is cancer? Cardinal water, creating new feelings, creating new emotions, creating new moods, creating new purposes, creating new meanings. So if your spirit is already on a new space, but your old cells, because your cells, they are the cell, they are the physical state of all the spirits within you, so they can be limited positively with you to construct your body. If they reject that new space, the new cells that come from that new space will be at war with the old cells from the old space, spiritually speaking, right? So, if your spirit is on a new state, but you are fighting against it, or you still didn't materialize it, you have to, with your body, confirm that choice. Let's say you are stuck mentally. You go smoke something. You make your mind lighter. You don't get so attached to whatever you are going through, for an example, right? And I'm just remembering I wanted to talk about MoonDay and how MoonDay is important to prepare your week, because Sunday it's like the start, but MoonDay is like the confirmation or the actualization of the visions and the actions and the desire and the drive that you experience on Sunday. That's why most people associate Sunday with the day of resting. Like here in Portugal, Portugal is still quite religious country, especially the older generations, and they always save the Sunday to rest or go to church or go and travel, go for a walk. But on Sunday is a work day. And then most people, they be like, oh, Saturn is the planet of work, so I should work on Saturday. No, no, no. On Saturn, on Saturn day, you should process, plan, clean, analyze all the work that you've done, because Saturn is the higher octave of this system, so it's spiritual work, not physical work. So on Saturn day you should rest physically and work spiritually, and then on Sunday you should work physically to materialize your manifestations, to show the world and the spirits within you and yourself, I have this new vision, I have this new passion, I have this new drive, I want to act in this new way, I want to express myself in this way. And then MoonDay is you focusing, attracting, and being in that space. So basically, the Sunday is you creating that space, you forcing that space, you creating that light, and then MoonDay is you condensing it. I'm thinking now about Taurus, right? Exalted moon, fixed earth. You really fixate all that light until it becomes more physical, more solid, more tangible. You can touch it, you can feel it. Moon, right? Right, guys? So MoonDay, that's why you shouldn't force anything on MoonDay. So you have enough space to solidify the right things for you for the rest weekdays. Because we exist to experience certain desires, but not all desires, and you shouldn't be aware of everything, right? So, on Mondays, you should be more moody, you should be more emotional, and you shouldn't do certain things that you don't feel like doing, because those are the desires that you are choosing to go about for the rest of the week. Because then what comes after Monday? Mars Day. So if you are fixed and you chose to take care, Cancer, you chose to feed Cancer and give shelter to the wrong desires, tomorrow on Mars Day you're gonna be all passionate, all motivated, or all frustrated about the wrong desires that you chose to shelter. Does this make sense to you guys? Because this is real life, bro. This is how you change your life. This is how you get rich. By making your activities, by making your business better for you. It feels better, lighter, passionate, it's better organized, it has meaning, it has sense. Because I said that on, I think it was on my last live stream, most people think that having a business is having a company or investing in the stock market or something. No, you already have a business. It's what you do every day. That's your business. And then that should make money. But that only expands and makes you money if you know the purpose and if you're doing the right business for you. Right, guys? So Moon in Aries, make sure to allow and create new feelings, new visions, new expressions, new motivations, new passions, new frustrations, new aggression, new desires, and you allow that to be on the right place, which is Moon, care, your core set of values, what you need, safety, spiritual purpose, your dreams, your illusions, your imaginations, burn through certain circumstances you don't accept, you don't feel good in a certain place, you don't feel comfortable, you feel like there is enough space to expand, burn that shit and create a new one, all right? That's all for today. I really enjoy being with you guys, talking about some spiritual shit, talking about some unique matters. Until tomorrow we're going to be talking about Mars Day, not Mars Day, but Mars in Virgo is now in the cusp, and we're going to be here live tomorrow talking about it as well. So until the next time, as a Cloud Surfer, surfing out. See you soon.